Hi everyone, my name is Bridget, and for my Sexuality and Social Institutions project, I'm going to be talking about the television show Scandal and the sexualities that are represented within the show. In the show Scandal, the main character's name is Olivia Pope, and she's having a really intense on-again, off-again affair with the President of the United States. A lot of the sexualities and issues that are addressed in the show really have to do with morality and sex and power. So the way that these sexualities are addressed in the show are really what the media produces to the American citizens of the show and how us viewers look at what's happening in the show. Most of the time when people have affairs in real life, people feel like that's immoral and don't really agree with it, but because us viewers are rallying behind Olivia Pope, the main character, and she's the one having the affair, we're almost forced to feel like that's okay because we want her to be happy and she's in love with him and their relationship is hot, so we kind of are forced to feel like that's actually a moral thing because they're in love. However, in the actual show, when his affair comes out, a lot of people, the American citizens, are opposed to him. His poll numbers go down because they feel that his affair is immoral. They start rallying behind his wife rather than him. And so the morality in his character comes in to play because affairs are not usually considered okay. Sex and power also comes into play and is addressed in the show, sometimes through the main characters talking, other times through what the viewers see. But the president is the most powerful man in America, and so sometimes it seems that he plays that and uses that to his advantage. So these are just some of the things that are often used in the show and representative of the sexualities that are happening. So there's a section in our textbook called Purity and Pollution, Sexism, Moral Discourse, and in this section there's an activist, Michael Warner, who argues that most people cannot quite rid themselves of the sense that controlling the sex of others is where morality begins. And I feel like this chapter is really relevant to the show and what's going on in the show, especially with moral values. I feel like a lot of people in real life have a lot of morals that they feel are important to them, and to them, being loyal to their partner and not having an affair and not really sleeping around is something that society has carved out to be what's right with sexuality. The line between what's okay on television and what's okay in real life has really been blurred. The president is having an affair with Olivia on his wife, and she's sleeping with the president, Olivia, but she's also sleeping with her sort of part-time boyfriend, Jake Ballard. And looking at it on TV, it seems exciting and okay. It wouldn't really be okay for some people. Society has kind of made a lot of that not okay and looked down upon, so that's something that has to do with kind of our moral values relating to our textbook and the show. The president having an affair isn't something we've never seen before. A lot of people know about Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky and have an opinion on that, and I think it has a lot to do with us wanting our president to be the perfect moral figure and then finding out that he's not quite. So I think that's pretty interesting. With Sex and Power, there's actually a scene where Olivia and her affair has gotten out to the media, and her father tries to whisk her away and make her leave the country, and he says something along the lines of, "You opened your legs to a man with too much power." And I think that also relates to the part of our textbook with sex and power and how being attracted to someone or being with someone who's not at the same power level as you, maybe you're really powerful and they're not, or they're really powerful and you're not, like the president being the president, Olivia isn't really holding even a political position, really. A lot of people have opinions in society about people not belonging together, or that sexuality is not okay because they're not quite on the same level. So I also think that that's pretty interesting. Affair or like morality questions impacted definitely Olivia Pope's clients that needed her help. After the affair came out, with her being involved at first, All of her clients dropped her. None of them wanted to work with her because the morality of her sleeping with not only a married man but the married president of the United States painted her in a really bad light because of what society had to say. And of course, when it comes to politics and scandals coming out with politicians, it's pretty brutal. So I think that a lot of clients didn't want to be attached to her name anymore after that. The president's wife definitely distanced herself even further, and her trust and belief in Olivia also broke, which is understandable. That was her husband, but she did lose that sort of friendship with her. And also with the American citizens, the president never really lived it down as the seasons went on. He had to make jokes about the affair in order to lighten the mood, and Olivia had to sort of erase that whole section of her life and try to cover it up so that it wouldn't continue to affect her income and her life. So that was definitely some of the ways that this whole thing impacted the people that were around Olivia and Olivia herself and the president himself. I feel like it's commendable that people have these moral values and that people have their own things that are important to them when it comes to sexuality, and staying true to themselves is really important. But I also feel like it should be strictly on yourself instead of people constantly creating what's okay in society and kind of commenting and judging others based on what they're doing. Even when it comes to politics, I know that people sign up for this life and politics is gonna be out there, but I feel like even affairs that politics have or politicians have, or like different things that people want to try that get put in the media, I feel like sexuality should be just a private thing that people can explore and experience at peace and not have to deal with all this sort of judgment that society creates in this bubble of what's okay, and if you aren't in the bubble, then you're not okay. So yeah, I think that sort of wraps up my project, and I hope you all enjoyed it.